And welcome to another session with drawing session with the Paintology drawing app by Firdous. So we'll before I start on the actual drawing, just want to tell you more about the methods and techniques that I'm trying to show you in digital drawing. You've probably not seen this before in any other tutorials, YouTubes or tutorials or apps because the focus is more on the use of tools to cover a particular, to derive a particular process in a drawing, whereas Pentology is all about showing you fundamentals and techniques that have been derived from traditional medium for over centuries. Yeah. So these fundamentals are what allows one to make drawings that you couldn't possibly do with tools. It's just not possible because the hand is way much faster in drawing than picking, selecting tools, etc. So Pentology was designed for that in mind. And so a few things I want to show you is if you're new to this channel, please visit some of the resources that you can get your hands on. Here I'll show you a few of them. The first one is this Google Classroom, which is free. It has activities broken down and for people to get started with digital drawing. So it's not, you see, it's all about getting you comfortable in drawing and knowing that you will over time develop techniques because it's not a challenge for you to understand the entire tool sets that Paintology has, which is only a few powerful tools, and that's it. And that's all you need to make the drawings I have you've probably seen on the channel. So let's go ahead and look at a few others. Yeah, so then we have, if you go to the link on the descriptions, you'll find the Google Classroom. And there's also the Paintology website, which you can go to, paintology.com. And then there is also an active profile on Quora that I typically post daily on. And you could check out many of the questions and answers. I think it's over 1,000 answers I've done on drawing typically. So these are all drawings I have done. More. Okay, let's go up here. It's asking me to open up in that, but if you go through it, you'll see it all. Okay. And then if you go to, let's go to my profile there, you'll see my profile. Many types of drawing. All of them. See? These have all been done with showing it. I mean, I obviously try, it looks like a breeze and a talent that I may possess, but it's, in actual fact, I wasn't able to do this in digital drawing, and I'm able to do so now because over a period of time, I'm always looking to expand my skill sets, right? So you should do the same if you're interested in art. So let's just go here. Let me show you. The way I draw is typically with the finger and the pen and the phone. So the finger is, and this is the phone that I typically use, a Samsung Note 10, and I draw on this with my finger. And then what other thing I can show you? Let's have a look. Yeah, the app here. You type in, so you type in Paintology or Paintology app. You'll see it. The first one, if you go there, you'll get this main app, and then it's got the some of the screenshots you can see here. So the plan is, okay, wait, sorry, I've got it wrong here. The plan is to teach you techniques, and that's what I'm here for, to show you techniques of how you can draw like this. It's the digital is, I'd consider digital to be no different to any other art mediums, but somehow it's come to a stage where there are two distinct flavors, isn't it? One digital, one traditional. Traditional doesn't shies away from digital. And the reason why they shy away from digital is because they are, excuse me, let's just close this door. So digital and traditional, as I said, are two distinct flavors, which one just don't see one or the other, right? And the reason for that is because the traditional thinks it's all about tools, which they're quite mistaken, I can tell you now. I come from a traditional, and it's not about tools. In fact, if you see a course of a drawing, I use one brush, that's it, no other digital effects. And so that you could probably say that my finger is on the drawing most of the time. And secondly, digital art has been shaped by tools. That's an unfortunate fact. Being shaped by tools means that everything you do has to be defined by tools: blurring, blending, filling. And keep in mind that I'm also a very competent user of Photoshop, GIMP, and other editing tools, but I would not use it for drawing. But it's entirely up to you. If you like anime, illustration, vector graphics, then by all means, use digital. And if you want to make a career of it, then I would suggest, yeah, go for the Photoshop. But if you simply like me, enjoys the taste of drawing and being lost in the moment without having to worry about which tool does this, which tool does that, then this is probably for you, especially if you have a traditional background. So that's what I wanted to tell you at the beginning. And if you open up the app, the home screen, this is the home screen. And if you go to my paintings, you'll see I've done a few drawings. Yesterday, I did this drawing on Freddie's channel in the live stream, so you can check it out. Oh, by the way, if you want to follow along with me to this drawing session, because I didn't get any feedback from last time when I asked, let's see. Yeah, if you want to follow along to me, go to paintology.com and you'll see the link of the image that I'm going to use as a reference for drawing. And then go down to where it says live streams, Google Classroom, Udemy. Click on that, and then you'll see, there you are, you'll see the image link, which is the image I'm going to be working on. There, this image, so you can follow along to me. You can follow along with me, I should rather say, and then for this drawing. So I'm just showing you a few of the drawings I've done previously, and here's one I did as well. Nice, beautiful sunset beach, and it's all about the tones, right? And remember, with digital, it's so powerful, and I do come from a technology background, and hence the reason for developing the app as well as applying some artistic skills, right? So if you look at any drawings, I've come to understand more and more that tones are what defines an excellent drawing or a good drawing. Tones. It's to build these tones. Like look at any object, any reference image, you'll see there's hundreds, if not thousands of tones. And in fact, there are literally thousands of tones. And the beauty of learning in digital is that it takes the guesswork out of developing those tones. Have you seen most YouTubers, they're mixing paints, and they also talk about tones, and they're always mixing the paints until they get it to the right color and then apply it. But with this, you got this most powerful tool ever, the color picker, and that is what gets you up to speed rapidly in drawing like this. Okay, so so what we're going to do is we're going to open the image. So I hope you've got the found the link, giving you some time to find that link and the image we're going to draw. This one. Right, so open it up in Paintology, and here you'll see that I have droplets of on a leaf, and you'd probably thinking, oh yeah, it is looks like a nice painting to a drawing to do, and it's quite interesting. But I want to I picked it also for another reason, which is tones, to show you that tones play a vital part in any good drawings. And if you want to draw well on your phone, and you don't need to invest in all these sophisticated digital tools unless I mentioned you want to go into a career in illustration, vector graphics, and all 3D anime and all that, then yeah, by all means, yeah, do go ahead. But it would be good for you to start off learning some of the core skills, fundamentals using the Paintology app as well. So let's look at this drawing closely, right? I mean, this picture, look at that. Can you see the tones there? I'm going to show you how many tones that we can pick out. So let's clear that. And then what we have here, let's take that. What we have here is I put the cursor bar. Remember, this is a trace bar, so I put the cursor bar all the way to the top. And I'm going to see how many tones I can pick from here. Okay, first of all, I see a tone there. Then I see a tone here. Then I see another one there. Then I see another one there. Then one there. Then there. Then here. Then here. And look at that. After the red is the default, but look at that. Do you see how many tones we picked up? That's why drawing at the tone level can be really difficult. I can go on and you won't see it, but there are very subtle differences in the tones. So good artists will try and pull that off using art techniques. Yeah, techniques is what defines a good artist and someone who's still at the early stages of drawing or painting. Yeah, so see those colors that I picked. That's how it is. Yeah. So let's undo it. Okay. Okay. So let's go back. Click on the zoom. So observe. The first thing of any drawing is to observe the drawing. Don't just dive in and that's it. And then once you've drawn it, you say, "That's it. I can't do anymore." Raise your arms up in the air. So I can't do anymore. I haven't got. It's a drawing process. Something else which I've come across and not many teachers talk about it is the drawing process. The drawing process is key to making drawings that are shaped and looks like from a distance looks like the real thing. I mean, have you gone to these museums where you see a work of Monet? They're huge, or the work of Turner, Constable, Cézanne, and all these other famous artists you probably heard. Picasso, well, obviously he was more into Cubism, but you can see that their drawing from a distance is so appreciated because it gives the essence of what they wanted to portray to the people. But when you get close up, it's a mishmash of paint. I've done that when I went to the London Museum, and it was like up close to one of Turner's famous paintings, and it just happened to be a mishmash. But then he gave the illusion that it was an actual thing, and that's the way we draw. We will draw this as well. So it's not like I got to draw this exactly. I'm just trying to breaking it down. When I observe a drawing, when I observe an image, I can do it in two ways. I like it aesthetically, it looks nice, pleasing to the eye. And secondly, if I'm going to draw that, I look at it, I put my, artist's eye in place and I look at tones. Immediately I can see green tones, light tones, white, dark tones, black. and immediately I can see shapes, formation, and the techniques I've learned that sort of comes to me and says, you need to do this, you need to do that. And these are the techniques that you need to do. And they're not shaped by tools or anything like that. They're shaped by your skill set, which you're trying to develop. And if you develop your skill set, you'll go very far, yeah? So I'm gonna do, oh, here's something else. I never do a drawing ever in the same way. I just take one drawing and then I'll look at it and I'll apply a different technique. And I'm telling you, it really helps a great deal to have that experimental mindset. You don't want to become too comfortable. Come on, let's face it. If you're having like pizza every day, are you going to be keeping that up for 365 days? I don't think so. You want to change. Same goes for drawing. You don't want to do the same thing again and again. If you find yourself doing the same thing again and again, don't blame yourself for not having skill or talent. It's merely because you haven't explored further with anything beyond where you are. So anyone can do it and anyone can learn drawing. And now that we have the mobile phone, there's no excuse for someone to draw, isn't it? Makes a big change from having to just socialize, communicate. You're doing the opposite, which is calming your mind and getting lost in the moment for like an hour or so, yeah. So it is very. I mean, if you talk to any psychologist, they'll tell you it's very therapeutic. But I'm not here to sell all that talk. I'm here to show you techniques of art. So let's get back into it. And as I said, the tones. You first look at this drawing, and I'm looking at it from artist's perspective. So I can see a lot of tones. And now I haven't even, I'm contemplating what brush I'm going to use because brush is not going to be fundamental. You can ask me to draw this particular leaf water with any of these brushes and it's perfectly fine. But purely for the purpose of demo, what do I want to do? I think I will, my charcoal is hitting to me. So I'm going to use charcoal. Right. So first, you probably know that I generally tend to stick to a bigger brush and then gradually work my way down. And the reason for that is it's essential to a drawing process. Have you noticed that any artist who starts out, their first pass of the drawing is like pretty weird? It doesn't look anything like, but they're always using broad brushes. Why do they do that? Have you ever considered that? Because they're laying down the first step of the drawing process. And I have broken down the drawing process. Let me show you. Is the drawing process. You go to the paintology.com site and then go to the blog, and then there you'll see the process of drawing. Learn the fundamentals, right? It's an important read if you want to get into improving techniques. The drawing process is the one that keeps you encouraged in the drawing. Otherwise, you will be bemused when you reach a particular level and you can't go beyond that because you're quick to sort of tell yourself that you just don't have it. And like I said, some people can take it very far and some cannot. And the reason they take it so far is because they haven't stopped where you stopped. So that's what it is. Very, very simple. I don't want to go into, analysis of the psychology behind it, but I just want to show you it applies to every form of skill. And then there's another article that I want to show you. It's called the Chat GP. Why do traditional the DPD? Yes, the three traits of mastering art skills. So have a read of that as well. I think you'll enjoy that. as well, because that tells you that it's not in the actual the skill that you're learning. It's all within you. You probably heard all of that. Anyway, let's get back to the drawing. So I've got 12%, 13%, which I think is all right. And I'm using charcoal, both density and hardness set at 100%. So let's look what this brush size does. We've got a green here, haven't we? Yeah, I'm sure we have a green color. No, we don't. So let's pick that green. Oh, no, no, that's in our canvas. So we've got to pick that green. And let's see what that brush size, that's the brush size. Can you see that? I think that's enough. Or you could, looking at this and looking at the shades, I'm thinking I could take that 20%. Let's take it to 17, 20%, yeah? Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I think I'm all right. I'm going to take it to 17%. Yep, let's do that, okay? So 17%. It's no big deal. Now, what we're going to do is a method called block coloring. And this block coloring tunes your brain into appreciating tones that exist in art. And as I've said, tones are fundamental to good drawing. If you're good at appreciating tones, even artists in oil, if you could talk to an artist who does oils, he'll say, yeah, tones is what I do in mixing colors, bringing everything, giving that depth to each. And they like mixing the colors because they're now creating the tones for that particular leaf. But in our case, we've got it down to this color picker. Look here. That's picked out the tones for us. Again and again. Look, it's the tones. There. You just have to make one pass because that is all you need. Because remember, it's 100%. One pass mean. So if you're wondering what density hardness is, think of it like HB pencils, H1 all the way to 12B, right? That's what it is. So you can go over it again until you get the right depth or the tones, the contrast. So here is just one pass is all we need. Very quick. And I'm picking out individual tones in that leaf, and you'll see that by doing that, you have picked the tonal colors that exist in that leaf, sort of roughly. And I'm saying that because I did that fruit. I don't know if I showed you the fruit drawing. That's how I sort of applied, and I'm trying to say, well, learned a few things there. Let me repeat that, but with a different brush and see what happens. Don't get too comfortable with drawing at the beginning. Just experiment. I'm not saying doodle. Doodling is a form of not really having any purpose in mind, right? So make sure the purpose is improving your drawing, and use that as the driving force. So what I'm doing is just knowing that the tones change, but I'm trying to keep it localized to where the green is and just picking out the colors. That's all. And then you'll see that I've captured some of the essence of those tones. And I think that drawing of Morgan Freeman helped me a great deal in appreciating the tones and the power of the digital medium. You probably think I'm just a student, but yeah, I am always. Never think you're a teacher. You're a student. A teacher is a teacher is a teacher and a student always, and that's if you can ask that question to one of your teachers. Are you a student? And they might, if they're clever, they might say, yeah, I'm always a student because I'm always learning. All right, so there you are. Look how the tones change, and I'm just look at that dark tone, right? Just picking up those tones, and that really tunes your brain into thinking about pet drawing using tones. So I didn't go and tell you the image link is there for this session. I hope to put that all in the app itself in the tutorial screen, category, like a live streaming, and then so you don't have to go outside of your app to download that link. But once once that link opens, just download it and then open it up in your app, yeah? And if you have any problems, just let me know, okay? I'd like to hear a good feedback, and if it's a criticism, constructive criticism would be nice. Okay, that's what I'm doing. Just following these tones that my eyes are saying with this big brush. That's what you need to do, okay? That's all I'm doing. Nothing different. Look how the tones change here, and then it gets dark there, and then I'm just picking it up there. I'm not trying to be accurate with anything. Look, see how dark it got there? And there. And then look how dark it's here. So it worked really well. And by the way, this finger painting just came to me just recently, and I realized what the power of this finger is, right? And I know most of you won't carry a stylus with you, and you think, wow, the finger can do that, make drawings like that. Well, I hope I see more drawings made with fingers, and then if you've downloaded the app, you'll be able to go to the what do you call it? You'll be able to go to the community section of the app. So look at that, it's a lighter color. Just get the light color. Look, that's a bit darker. This is darker, and then so I'm laying down the first colors, and then we can work out the details later, okay? Okay, there. You see that dark, and then get that light turn out. Fingers, just the fingers, that will do. Oh, let's see what we got here. Now, see, by doing this, we've laid down tones, and it's really very similar to painting with traditional materials. Basically trying to replicate the tones with the oil colors or acrylics or the watercolors. Yeah. The problem with digital art is that people think digital art has to be done in a particular way using this app, all the great apps that everyone keeps going on about. But the apps are not going to make you an artist. It's your interest in developing your skills, techniques of using the app, and for me, most people ignore the fact that your skill sets go far beyond just the tools. You see that? Look at that yellow there. Look at that, beautiful. And the brush is still big. Can you see how big the brush is now? Now we got so close. Right, see that? And then this. Look at that. Receding that black. That's a lovely white, isn't it? All right, let's see where we are on this. So I filled in, the first step was to lay down these colors. And now, like I said, you've probably seen a lot of artists use this method. And it's no different to digital. Why would it be different to digital? You got a pen, you got a brush, you got colors. In fact, it's more powerful than traditional. And that's the reason why you can make photorealistic drawings. And then when people say, oh, you're using trace, they've never drawn. They've never probably gone anywhere beyond. The reason is all the great masters have used I don't know if you've heard of camera obscura. It was an essential form for all artists around the 17th century, or maybe I don't know when. But it projected an image through a dark chamber black hole, and then put that on a canvas for you to draw, trace to it, essentially. Essential tool for all artists. You go to any school of art, they've used that to improve your style of drawing, to improve your techniques. And this is just another form of rapidly. In fact, we don't need to use them. We got these brilliant technical tools to help us. Okay, let's see, because I got so close. Now let's see where we haven't done this bit. So I'm not hesitant in doing this bit because there's quite a lot of tones going on here. Let's see, but we can do it very simply. Let's go back and look at the whole drawing, see if we've covered much of the areas. We haven't actually done this, so we need to perhaps just to bring, just get that black area, this lovely black, the background. Notice the black recedes into a warmer black. Right here, look, I'll show you what I mean. If I go here, can you see that tonal change there? There, see? Sort of darker here. Alright. Alright. Let's see if we've covered. Yeah, I think we've covered, except for that area which I said I was going to leave to tackle it. So let's save that. So this is what you could consider as drawing pass 1, 2, or 3, right? And then if you call this complete, then, I'd probably tell you that if you told me I had to finish it, probably say, oh, I had something else better to do. But that's by no means complete. So we're going to take this to another step, and that will push us into that subsequent step. And you cannot, that's the reason why these steps are fundamental to drawing. If you had not arrived at this step, you would not know the next step. Yeah. So, but it's logically puts it down here. Let's go to 9%. Okay, and let's see if we can get these. These are telling us the brush size you should use, and if you're happy with that, then if you think you need another, then go ahead and a different brush. I'm just trying to cover as much quickly as possible with the brush sizes. So this one is 9% and no change to the opacity. All right. Okay, just picking out these tones. Look at that lovely green, that darker tone. And then just basically taking the opportunity to cover the areas that we have not covered, like the white areas, you saw that. And that's a really good sort of guidance, yes. If you can see what I mean with that. Well, there you are, there. And then you can see that this brush here. And then what happens is that we improve, we're basically improving the localized tones even further if we were to go over it with that smaller brush. Why? Because we're picking out tones in that smaller region, right? Just makes sense, doesn't it? There, there, there. And then find all the small areas that you didn't want to address because it'll be completely masked with the bigger brush. So now using the smaller brush to to get those details. And those details are essential to the drawing, are they not? I mean, I don't think so. There, and then look at the tonal change. Now can you see how your eyes are now shifting and picking out those tones? It's like when you're looking for a needle that's dropped on the floor, immediately your body assumes, your eyes assumes like a bionic eyes, right? To look for that. That's what the beauty of drawing is like you've got bionic sensors that come into play. These we could never dress any other way. And then you become more tuned. I can see more tones, and you're probably thinking, wow, how is he going to get this and making it look anywhere near the reference image? Or believe me, it's not about skills. Look, you can probably do exactly what I'm doing, because am I doing anything different? I'm just color picker, looking at this image. I'm not even doing anything out of my imagination. Look, that local region, this is how the color changes. See that? Because the bigger brush will pick out the the close color of that leaf, but not the very localized areas that will enhance the sort of make this drawing look as though, yep, it's getting to a particular point, and that's the drawing process I've been telling you about. Remember that bit here? And then that screen, I've seen that screen. And the smaller brush will allow you to get to these details really nice. So it doesn't look like choppy. It looks like your eyes will just try and give you the illusion. It's the illusion, like I said, when you look at a painting or hanging in the museum, you look from far and you think, wow, what an amazing piece of art. And then you look close, and the artist just creating a mishmash of colors. I was using block coloring. The first time I discovered this method of drawing was when I was getting ready for an operation, and this wasn't anything serious, but nothing to worry about. And then I decided I gotta get my phone out, and then and I've always enjoyed appreciated the work by John Constable in the Haywain. You probably know about. And then I thought, why don't I do that? And then I kept using my block coloring, this method, to draw. And so I needed to get really close to his drawing, painting, obviously. And then I realized the cart, when I got to the cart where the boy was sitting, and then I realized, God, it's just a mishmash. He just used a brushstroke to give the illusion. There was no sort of hyperrealism or of any kind. Just the illusion that there's something there. Because he knew that the overall painting was going to was the desired objective, right? And then I drew that, and then I posted in Quora, and they were like gobsmacked at how original and real it looked like. And that was just a pastime. And then I realized this was a good method of drawing, getting people to appreciate drawing in the digital medium. So hence block coloring was born. So let's see where we are on this, yeah? Sure. Look at that. It's taking shape, isn't it? Although it's still hard to visualize how it's going to go and where it's going to go. But believe me, keep at it and you will find that what the next step. This is where, let's say, post step 3 of the drawing process, and some will say, I'm sorry, on this stage I'm raising my arms up in the air and I cannot go any further. Well, tough, you know. If you want to do that, by all means do that. But if you want to learn, then continue along with me, yeah? So we got that. The next step is, you could say, we need to blend it. But in reality, you don't need to. Let's bring out the most essential component, the three droplets. That's what I'm going to do. And to do that, these droplets are quite not really complex, but let's see if we can pull it off with what we have, the brush we have. And yep, you got it. Let's take it down to 5%. And let's see if we can really shape this. Right, look at the size of that brush. Right? It's still big relative to what the tones are defined in here. There. Right there. Look. Now your definition of the tones is really expanding, isn't it? Now you can see minute details in the tones, and that helps you to apply the techniques you want to achieve. Look at that, the green tones there. All right, to achieve the effect that you're looking for. And we're not even using the opacity, which really adds value. But I don't want to complicate things because you're learning. And this is at this stage, I go back and forth with my finger at the details because I can do that because I'm adding more details and checking my drawing. So now because I've got something down, I can continue to check if my drawing is coming out nicely, yeah? Because I have something already down, isn't it? That's that dark thing. Look at that dark. And you'll see how quickly you can pick out the tones and replicate it. See that? Those dark tones. And have you seen my strokes are really confined and tight, yeah? Okay, excuse me for a while. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. And here, so you can see that picking these tones, come on, I'm trying to get rid of that. You see the tones here? Look, just grab them and just dot it around. Ooh, I hate it when that happens. I gotta make a change. The zoom is too close to the there. See that? Look there. Now you're defining tones at a very low level at what the eye can see. But because you're this actually will lead you to photorealism drawing more easier than other forms, because I actually do photorealistic drawings. Not using block coloring, I can do it without just freehand because I'm trained in this. I've expanded my skills. Look, look, look where we are. Here you see you got a black in my area, but so we're gonna define that. These are all about tones. Tones. You probably never get tired of me using the word tones. But unfortunately that's how it is tones. So there. So just look at that. The tones. Look at that. Tones there. Sorry, I seem to be making fun of the word tones now. So here, just can you see I'm pushing back the mistakes I made? Not the mistakes, but the broad brush has left a more stuffed that, but it laid down the foundation of the basic colors, and now that's what it is. This is really the essence of what painting is like, but we're doing it digitally. Okay, so here, let's see what we got here. Yeah, we got this great tones. Remember, I moved to the other half of the trace bar in order to make sure that I've got the right tones. Yeah, look there, and then there, look there. So let's see what we've got here. Look at that. We've got the emergence of the first droplet being born right in front of our eyes, right? So now we can now we've got another step, which means keep at it. You're doing the right thing. So here, so you can see there was a little bit strange when I was going dot 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 round, and you can see that dot 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 is. And then if that doesn't work, do I get frustrated? No, I'll find another technique. So maybe that technique did not work for this, but another one may do. Then let's see here. I'm not going to force myself, am I? If something doesn't work, it's pointless to pursue it. There, look at that. Lovely stroke. And then let's have a look. Look at the first formation, yeah. And I can see that that droplet is growing ahead of hairs, and we don't want that, do we? So let's do this. Let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go here. And then switch between. So I'm basically switching between my image and the image here. Then look at that. Beautiful. there, here. And then now you see I'm switching, I'm adopting my method of making this. Alright. So we got a droplet there. It's alright, it's not working as well as I expected it, but now I'm trying to think, what should I do? Should I just carry on? Yes, because you know what's really putting this droplet off? It's that little bit. So now we can say, have we got a good brush size? I think not. Let's have a look. Let's pick a dark color and see what the brush... Oh, way too big. Come on. Heaven's sakes. Look at the size of that green. It's way too big. So that's the reason why I wasn't achieving what I was wanted to achieve. So I got 3% now. Okay, let's have a look there. Let's see if that makes a difference, right? Remember, we still haven't done anything related. In fact, I have a great idea for a tutorial on the density and hardness, and you'll be like, wow. And I've been drawing with primitive pencils all these years. So this app was initially, when I first started delving into digital art, about 2012, and then I ramped it up again in 2019, and then I've continued to ramp it up, and then continue to develop the app based on techniques of drawing, and not just, you know, more on the techniques of drawing rather than the tools. So I wasn't interested in tools, although a lot of beginners come and ask me that, and but they're not able to fully appreciate it because they've already drilled their thinking that tools are everything in digital. And why shouldn't it be? Because most of the digital artwork are done using layers, blending, blurring, you name it. So let's see what we have here. Yeah, got this green, lovely tones. Before, you couldn't even see these tones at this level. Come on, don't kid me. I could not see these tones. These tones are now coming alive for me because I'm paying more attention to it. Look at that lovely green tone. That's all it is. That is all it is. Because you when someone does artwork in traditional, you're looking through the eyes of the traditional. I'd like to disprove some people who think that digital art is not real art. Well, if you draw like this, it sure is. Look at that. There, can you see it? There, green, then green there. Then you'll see what a difference it can make. Alright, so it won't look like this droplet had hair on its head, right? And then we can do the other one, right? That's looking more better, isn't it? I think it is, even though we've got tiny brushes. Look at that, the tiniest of brushes. We still managed to make it look authentic. Right? Very localized region. And then it got that green. That was... So always challenge yourself. I had no idea. I didn't want to draw something that I'm comfortable with. That's why you'll see a range of subjects that I draw. You know, otherwise it gets boring, isn't it? So if you have any ideas for drawing, please let me know. I'm happy to consider what in a drawing session. Look at that. Break down that element and do this. Go over it. Doesn't matter. Just go over it. Right. let's see what we have here. Let's save this. Save. Okay, now what? Now I think we need to do this droplet. So the same thing. And look, same thing. The tones are all in there. So I'm going to go looking at the tray. Now we've sort of moved away from complete automated, and now we're just looking at this and just laying down the, the drawing. It's really helpful. I hope you're doing this because it really helps you. Look, it's not really drawing, is it? I'm just shaping the perimeter of that bubble there, that just here, so I know it's going to end up there. So there. Then the black, still got a black or dark green. And that just go around there. That's it. And then there's that halfway mark here. And if you're not getting the colors that you want, darker color, just go to the color palette and pick those colors, yeah? Now, this beautiful light green, and then there's a darker green just next to it. And then, okay. So these I tend to generally just pick a green and just go over it. Look, follow the shape, rough shape, nothing that's like a pitter-patter of shapes. Just a pitter-patter of shape. Just put it down with the fingers, nothing more. And then the green here, right? You've seen it. Now just put that, it's a bit darker green. Pitter-patter, just all the way around without any form or direction. Again, what about this black here? We got that. Oh wow, look at that. We can't skip that. That's a beautiful black. It's the perimeter, isn't it? So we can't ignore that. So pick that. That's good dark green, right? Right. And then let's go all the way around till we've got this black region all the way right. Okay. And then there's the green here. You could say this is an experiment in photorealism, but I would like to think it's teaching you some tones, which is essential to photorealism. Right. Okay. See that white, so that gives it the bubbly effect, doesn't it? The fact that it is a water droplet. But don't forget that dark green. That's what gives it the shape. And then, okay. And then let's move to this side and get that green, lovely green that gives that, like that ellipse, that elliptical shape, isn't it? And then don't forget that black, yeah. It's a dark green, yeah. And then we get that lovely green here, which extends out there, and then extends out here, and then here, here. And then let's see. We got something similar. Yeah, we need to address that. The tail of that water droplet. You know, we don't want that water droplet to look like it's missing its tail, is it? Just pick a mishmash of colors and just sort of give the impression that there's something going on. Gosh, I hate that one. Alright. Okay, so take a look at that to see if that... Yes, that's come out nicely, isn't it? I would agree with that. Would you agree with that? I think that bubble is trying to compete with the bigger bubble, isn't it? Now, let's see. That, yes, give it more shape like it's supposed to do. And then let's go back and let's address this third miniature one, which is probably feeling a bit left out. So we got that color there. Make sure you pick the color more, and look at the bottom right to see if you pick the color, and then just create the shape of, so you know roughly where it is. The black here, so it's always a black, dark, and if you've seen any bubbles on water droplets, then a dark here. Alright, and then this beautiful green tone glow around that edge. We can say, let's use this trace bar to our effect. And then a bit of green. Okay, going down there. And then while you've still got the same tone, put it down as much as you can, yeah? And then that wonderful light green, yeah? Just put it down so you don't have to do too many colors or too many repetitions if you can help it. And then where is that? That is where the white is. So again, pick that roughly. Okay, and then that's it. And then there's that green. So I'm just gonna use that green. That green. Yeah, if you could use a darker green. This, you see how your tones appreciation increases. You can use the color palette as well if you can't see it there. And then notice this is all a mishmash of lighter green. It's not that, sorry, that color. It's not that dark. Alright, then we don't have the top of that, the colors of that water droplet here. Just do that, and then here, just look at that, how it's stretching. You just want to follow that. Don't worry about details. Look at that green is just, they're going crazy all over the place. So, oh, look at that. Isn't that amazing that we've come this far, right? So what else can we do on this? It's now taking shape. So let's save that. And where are we in time-wise? Yeah, I think we can carry on, isn't it? If you want me to stop, then you can just say, please stop. This is too much for me. Oh, look at that. Then I have to take into consideration the other people who want to watch this, right? Okay, look, we haven't even touched the density or the opacity. That's a powerful blending, and I use that to really good effect in the sky for the sunset drawing, you know, the sunset Palm Beach I showed you. Right, so this is just forming a random, totally random form, you know, just emulating what's there, nothing else. Just nothing accurately doing anything specific, because I'm not trying to make it hyper-realistic or anything. I'm trying to get away to draw photorealism really quickly, that's all. Somewhat a photorealistic drawing, isn't it? Alright, let's have a look at this one. Yeah. Alright, then here. So this is an original unique drawing because I am using, look, you see this shape here? It's a crisscross of this shape, so why not just use it? And then there's another color we can use just to crisscross. That's creating the shape, right? And then what do we have here? That's not like a tributary of a river or anything like that. Come on, that looks like it's just come out there, isn't it? That's look there. Okay, and then we have this color. So again, take it. Then this color, the green, and then you can see that goes all the way. Just laying down the foundation again at a very low level with the eyes cannot see well and has to somehow make something that the brain can understand, right? That's all it is, illusion of drawing. The artist trying to create the illusion. Alright, let's have a look. And that's picking up better and better as we go along it, isn't it? Techniques, isn't it? That's all it is, techniques. Okay, so where can we go? We can see that there are these little, you see these little dots here. Let's save this. See these tiny little dots here? That sort of takes away the realism, doesn't it? Somewhat, because you can tell it's a drawing. It just makes it look like you've drawn this by hand, but it's not uniform. So when you come across this area, don't go and just select the color. Take the opportunity to do what we're doing. We're creating tributaries here, right? So I'm going to do that. Look, we're creating tributaries. So how to do that? Okay. Tributaries, I can do that. Yeah, there you are. Right. And that gives the illusion, right? And then at the same time, we've taken tributaries, like look, random tributary paths. And then just take different, just randomly give the illusion. Look at that, I'm not even trying. And I'm just following the lines of the drawing. And then there's these circular, just the light ones as well. Right. Just following, so you can see what you have to do, right? You can now go towards more your color. Oh, come on. You can now go towards your color, to your palette. Just take out anything that doesn't work. Right there. And then use that green that you have, the darker green, to extend out. Look, there. Look at that bit that I'm doing here. Same color, the darker green. Just taking it out. Nothing, and then use the palette and just trace, and then just keep looking at it. This is where your observation kicks in, right? And then you can say, well, is this working? If this green isn't working, maybe I should pick a darker green. Yeah, like this. Or maybe I should pick a less darker green. About here, about here. So this is all about, we're just creating the illusion that what you're looking at is an actual leaf. But in reality, you are playing a trick on the eyes, isn't it? See if that green is okay. So you can go like that. And can you see any of these greens? Yeah, you just go randomly. Can you see any dark color there that matches? Instead of trying to color pick that, right, you're using the color palette. Let's see if that makes a difference. This randomness somewhat does, doesn't it? I think it does. So anyway, we can clean that up as we go along, but let's tackle this here. What have we got here, right? Let's tackle this and that. We can say it's like a small tributary, isn't it? If you've done any sort of geography, you'll know what I'm talking about. And then pick the color palette, the color that, and look there, look at that, this color. It's like one of the trunks, that, right? So we've still kept, although I'm quite, I felt the need to adjust the density, but since you're learning and you want to keep things simple, right? I'm just going to do it this way, stick to and then just keep practicing. This is the beauty of practice, is that you're practicing in real time. Look, look at that. See, the brush is so thin. Look at that green. Hello. Look at all these. This is now I'm beginning to understand how these plants come into life. Look at that beautiful good green. The tributaries right there. Then we can go pick another color and just follow. It doesn't have to be. Just follow it. Random. You can see it. Okay, I'm going to be random as well. So this is a nice mid color that randomly produces this tiny little shapes, gives it depth, right? Look at that, just random. And then what have we got here? We've got a light tone there, so we can put a light tone. Is that added randomness? No. So we just add this, and then maybe that's too big. No, it's not. And then what have we got here? Darker tone. Right, just following what my eyes are seeing, and now really getting a handle on the random nature of the drawing. Now let's address this area. Look, beautiful white tone. Can we get that nice yellow tone? I don't know, it's really hard. There, look, that is so good. Look at that. And then here we got another one there, and then we got this black. The black comes way, look at that, we missed it. We were off by a mile. Alright. Okay, I think I'm running out of battery. So I'm going to put... so I'm going to... I hope you can hear me still. And I've switched off my Bluetooth here. So, here you are. Going merrily across. Using the small brush. And then what do we have here? Right? No texture at all. So we're going to add texture, right? That's the trick. So what color can we pick? So we pick our color picker. God, I hate that. So we pick our colors either using the color picker, or what you can do, right, just randomly, just using the color picker or the color palette, no big deal, and give it some texture, isn't it? Right, just give it texture, that's all. And what do we got here? That one is not, there's nothing underneath it, so you need to make sure. Let's have a look. It's looking very good, isn't it? I would say it is. And then, what do we got here? Let's do that. See, now everything requires a step in the right direction. This color, right? I can see this color going on here. It's the tones. Remember, it's the tones. I'm seeing these tones, and I'm just randomly jotting them down. Where are the tones there? Yeah, see, there's that particular color that I'm thinking. Just randomly. And then you pick another one, which is a little darker, like this one, and just randomly, right, giving the illusion. And then this one, a bit darker, and just take away any too many dark tones that shouldn't be there. And look at this beautiful, the beautiful light green. Look at that. That just comes out like anything, anyone's business, isn't it? And then here's a collection of that. Then remember, I'm just learning. I'm just thinking, wow, this is a nice way of showing folks how to do what I'm doing, right? How I created my techniques. And then hopefully you'll develop more techniques as well. Wow, this goes, black goes quite deep. Then just go here, and then you can see this is where your eyes can see. So what you're doing is effectively doing what the eye sees. That's all. You're not really drawing as such. So I decided to alternate between what I'm seeing and what I'd like to see on my canvas. Here, look, that, there. See that? There, and then there, and then I got a green here, and then I could stay here on that, and then I have a lighter green here. Then just drag that along, yep. And then what we have here is just going this way, just directing that way, okay? Pick the color. So I'm using the color picker at the moment because I'm okay, satisfied with that, because they're broad. They're quite broad in nature, meaning the area is quite big enough for me to use the color picker and then build up the tones that way. Look. That's all I'm doing, building up the tones there. See, crisscross, crisscross. In fact, you didn't know that you could do hatching at photorealistic level. Well, there you are. And you know, I don't come from an artist background, but I just picked like drawing and pick up techniques. Alright, and then here, oh, look at that beautiful bull. Oh, good. Now remember we picked it up with the bigger brush. Now to just do that. And then you have green. Okay, put the green here. And then can there anywhere else it can go? Yeah, there. Just put that. And then add a darker green. Right there, giving the illusion of that there is something going on, isn't it? Yeah, green. Is that green okay? I think so, but could be a bit lighter, maybe. That's why I'm picking from the color palette. Right. All these just adds texture, and then I'm seeing I'm doing something very different. Trust me, I haven't done this texturing before, but I do it, but I do it like only when it's required. But in this case, there's a lot of texturing involved, which I don't normally do because of the details of that leaf. I want to get that, capture that, and then I want to see what it looks like. Normally, I would probably blend this, yeah. So here, pick that green. This is how you tune your brain into the tonal variations. And then here, there's that dark area. There's another vein going down there. And then we've got any more veins. Yeah, use that dark to cover as much area as you can. There, can you see it? Sort of going that way. And then another, these tributaries. These are all it is. They're tributaries of the, and that's how the leaf is born, and that's how they survive, isn't it? Keep alive. Look at that, look at that. Just go over. And then green, this is mid-tone green. Oops, I didn't catch that mid-tone green. So if you haven't, you need to look at the mid-tone green. Anywhere in the mid-tone green? Yeah, there's quite a few. Alright, just give the illusion. Let's see, we've got the illusion here. Yeah, we've sort of got the illusion, isn't it? Look at that, it is coming out nicely, isn't it? Okay, so now let's look, see if this, as you practice, you get better and better. Trust me. As you get practice, you get better. And if you get frustrated quickly, then you should take a break and start again. I mean, that's all it is. Look at that green. Look at that green. And look at that beautiful white. That's gone here as well. Then that dark area right there. So now we've got a good handle on how we need to push our agenda, isn't it? Can you see any darker green? Yeah, sort of there. And then anywhere else? Yeah, sort of here. Remember, we're picking out, as you pick the color palette, you're picking out the different tones. You're not picking out the same color tones. Look at that there. Right, let's see what that looks like. Well, it's beginning to look more like it, isn't it? Okay, so what we got here? Look at that. Do you see that? It almost looks like a signature. We don't want you taking over the presence of this drawing mate. Okay. Then it's got this light, lovely light green. Not too light. And then what have we got here? We've got some white marks here, there, and then that. So just put that there. Take that out. Just all right. So this is where we've come to, and we can probably finish this. And now I feel that there's little less time required to do this, and then we can do that. I don't know how I did the other particular one, but let's keep on adding this texture to this. Let's take it down. I feel this is my fingers doing the walking. Let me take it down, and then so I can build up a different texture level. It's not, don't want to take it down too much. Just to see that with that density settings, I have the option of darken it with a few strokes, right? Giving it more the illusion. Can you see it there? Giving the illusion that there's some dark spots whenever I go through it once or twice, right? There. Can you see that? So that one is a color there, and then I would just keep going and see it creates a bit more. You may not see it easily, but definitely creates some kind of a half tone effect. Like if I did that, continues to do that, I would bring out. So if we learned anything from that, I think so. What I've shown is that I could have used this with a lower, with the density setting that I showed you there. Let's get that. Let's see that. You might not notice that, but that creates a sense of that is not obvious at first. There. So I can just put that green there. Look, so that if we look at that, there's a darker tone there, and it goes lighter where I didn't go over it twice. So again here. So if I go here and then just one stroke there, and then just you see that it creates a kind of a tone overtone. Like just like the color pencil, nothing different. That's what techniques are, isn't it? Well, let's see what that one looks like. Yeah, why not? So we've got green here. We need to take out that edge, isn't it? That edge that we defined with the bigger brush strokes. Remember that? Then here, again, some green tributaries here. So just randomly, and then pick out more darker, right? Just randomly. And just try and do random, nothing different, random strokes. And nothing, there's no pattern to it. It's random strokes. And here. And then what's going on here? It's a tributary going there. Let's see. That tributary, dark tributary here. Okay, you want to go there? All right, go ahead. And then here, let's see what it looks like using this 20% just to show you, give you a taste of what it can do. See, it's not about the brush, it's about applying the techniques that I'm doing. Look, has given it some, right, hasn't it? Let's keep following that. Look at that. We're not going to replicate that, but at least we can get close to it. I think this brushes were a bit too small. It's because we're closer to the action now, isn't it? The leaf is now coming, and then look, that. Just get a darker brush that has form the lines right there. Can you see it there? There's a very dark line here, so we pick that. Then we won't probably do, there's a light color there, not just, and then what do we have here? Little bits and pieces running across like that, just tap tap tap, giving the illusion. And then what do we have here? Green, pick another color, green, tap tap, right? So we can decide if this setting of 80%, near 80%, makes a difference. And this is the part of experimentation I was telling you about. All right, a bit too dark. Yes, got that. Okay, then I got that. Okay, and then we have that. And then we have this tones here, just randomly putting these tones down until it works, right? Just randomly. Look at that. If you done it with tools, believe me, that would be taking you ages. And if we come back to it and then see if we need to create those water droplets. Okay, yeah, look at that. Just a little bit of these grid, and then we could pick a lighter tone here. Just go work your way. Do your magic. That's just giving the illusion. That's all we did, just giving the illusion. And then here, dark green. Can you see it? Some random patches there. So it's just, it's like how your brain, how fast your brain can think. It can also do, right? Oh wow, left that white bit. Okay, so let's just put that in there. And then what we got here? Oh, okay, we've got darker green. So again, it's not too dark. So let's pick something a little lighter. Okay, and then what we've got here? Okay, we've got that. And then we have this going on there. Then just randomize it. Picking, still sticking to this color here, and then let's pick a green, a light green. That's it, that's good. Yeah, giving the illusion. And then if you keep doing it, you will realize that this becomes second nature to you now when you draw. Okay, we've got that. I'm not doing exactly replica of that there. Right there. Oh, look at that. right there. And then you've got this bit. See, it adds volume. Okay, this is a bit too dark, so let's go for that green. This green is a bit too light. That's it. That's it. We've got that. There. Now what do we have here? Well, it certainly looks a lot different to when we started, isn't it? And you know what? You could carry on, and I could carry on. The areas that I haven't touched, can you see it here? Let's save this. Here, you can see it. Just simply do exactly what we're doing there, right? The same format. And now you just look at it, and then you can say, you know what? I can pick colors that I want right from here. All right, and then just keep going back and forth, and do the roughly the shape. Nothing different. Remember, this lighter color shows up in small areas in specks, right? So do it. Keep it like that. Specks in specks, right? Does it show up here? No, it's more darker. So around that bubble, it's darker because you've got shadows, isn't it? So, right? So give that illusion, and that illusion will keep that illusion alive with the. Now, if we can get here, so see that black? So we're taking the black, and then we take that green, giving the illusion of depth. There. Look at that green. There. Is that a green there? Yeah, we can say that. We can have a tributary here. No big deal. And again, I'm reluctant to do these because it'll take time, isn't it? And up to you. If you want to do it, you know. But me, I think I just want to sort of get it to a level where I'm satisfied, you know. There. And then pick a light, get rid of that, yeah. So these were supposed to be, but now I've turned it into a leaf with none of the bubbles showing. So again, use this color. There you can see it there. It's like green colors going round, round, round. Use this stroke. Right there, look, and then it's going this way, cross, cross, cross. Right, don't make it too big. And then what have we got here? And then we have darker green tone. Just merge it in. And merge it in. And then look, we've come all the way here, back to this place. And then I know what to do here. I'm going to tone you down a bit because you're trying to take over that area and I'm not going to let you. Yeah. The dark green, yeah, just use the dark green. Just give the illusion. They're dark here? No. They're probably a bit, not as dark, but again, use the color that you think. Alright, look at that. Created so much depth. I'm still not happy with this, the bottom part of that, you know, that bottom part. So, how are we going to do this? This one is eluding me a little bit. So, what am I going to do? Let's try and get that shape that works for us. Yeah, better now, isn't it? Okay, so now let's go there. And now, what do we have here? We have this bit. Remember we didn't address this bit? Let's address that. And again, use the crisscross hatch. It's a nice green tone. And then follow the shape of where this hatching is going to be done. So this hatching is not done randomly. It is somewhat random, but it follows a general shape of what the image is trying to show. Right? I like that tributary there. That's a lovely tributary. Ooh, there. That's a lovely tributary there. Alright, so hatch is a lovely more green, so you can build up this. Alright, more green, then more green there. Just that color doesn't work out, get another blacker, darker color, right? There. Color, okay, a mid-tone color. And then what can we say about any other color? Is there another color there that we can use? Yep, let's try that. Okay, just to overlap it, to give the illusion that it's not just a choppy black and white color. There, isn't it? That's got shape, isn't it? Right, it almost feels like these leaves have some. So we could increase that brush and add. Look, this is too much. So experimentation. This is where I'm going to experiment a bit, and you might get lost in this. I'm trying to bring the composition to what it should be along, so it's uniform. Right, trying to bring the composition using a bigger brush. This is a bit too, maybe a bit too complicated for you, but because I can see tones, darker tones. See, I don't have to change much. I can see darker tones and I can see lighter tones, and I'm going to pick the tones that will work. That wasn't dark enough. Right, give that illusion there. Can you see it? The illusion of that dark tone. Alright. This is something also new that I haven't done, but I feel I must do this. Where is that? The light. It's like a light tone. So I can just drop it off like that. You know, the overall lightness, the light tone there. Seen that? That little thing that was trying to catch our attention. Well, we've given it some light. Look, just a little bit of that makes all that difference. And use the same, look, just a little bit lighter maybe, right? Just a little bit there. Do you see how it's sort of somehow it's doing some kind of a blending effect? That's sort of a darker tone here, sort of having a blending effect on that, isn't it? Right there, and then we're about here. And don't zoom in too much, because this is a bigger brush. You can see here, if you want to do the details, it's not working out. Pick the Jason color, and then pick that color, then just merge it, and then pick a different color, so it blends, sort of feels like it's not part of the same thing. Let's look at it again. There. That's turned out quite nicely, isn't it? And then let's go here. So do we need to do any more of that? Let's look. I don't know. I'm a bit feeling that this, while I still have that thing, the smaller brush, I'm going to try and see if I can. I've still got the look at the density. I'm going to increase it a bit. This I'm just showing a little bit of the density. You know, don't get flummoxed if you don't know, because you can always come back to it and then ask me questions or something. But just to give that as though it's spread across like a diamond, isn't it? That works really well, isn't it? It's like a form of blending, yeah? No, it's a form of blending. Let's see what we have. Yes, that's not bad, is it? Let's have a look, and then we could use that same white to blend. This is also saying, you know, I need some attention. Give me attention. And we're not going to ignore you. And I'll take some of that green. Just want to define some of this areas here. And then we've got the top, yes, on there. So give that so that is not just a choppy black. Right there. And then let's see what we. There you are, right? It's sort of come together, isn't it? And then what about this one here? Let's take that up. This is where experience comes in a little bit, but I'm also that just sort of taking that. This it's actually a lot higher than I wanted, so I'm gonna take a smaller brush. Let's take that. Give the illusion. You see that? It's like two. So what we can do is we can blend this. And I'm going to show you how to blend the black, right? Don't make it look like too pronounced. Look, see that? There. Look at that. It's not like a choppy sharpness. Right? And then even we can take that black and then trickle it to the top, depending on the size. So you've got to keep a reasonable size. Right, take it to the top. Look at that. All right, there you are. So I think we'll finish here, and I can see, you know, you could get carried away and do more, but I'd just like to finish here and just to show you some of the techniques. So keep in mind that I've shown you techniques. It's not about the digital tools. You know, if you want to create realistic or drawings with depth, it's about tones. So to recap, it's about tones, and with pentology, tones are much easier to use because of the powerful color picker, and takes the guesswork out of traditional, and that's why you can surpass your ability in drawing much more quickly in the with the digital medium. You didn't think it was possible, but this because of emphasis on digital apps, drawing apps has been always on tools. The emphasis with pentology is about art techniques. Tools are a means to get you there. So let's sign this, and I hope you've learned something, and please subscribe and do leave a comment and feedback of any kind that you need to want to say, yeah? And just that there. Oops, that's a bit too harsh, isn't it? Let's paint. Is what happens when I'm using my fingers. Okay, there it is. Paintology. I hope you've enjoyed this class. Until again, next time, I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye bye.